Guys, this is Lindsay from the blog Repurpose and Upcycle, and I'm going to show you how to make these awesome floating shelves. This is sponsored by Furniture Pipeline. The first thing we're going to do is plan our project. Now, the one thing that you're going to have to make is the piece of wood that fits on top. Now, they suggest making the piece of wood 18 to 30 inches wide, 10 inches deep, and 1 to 1.5 inches thick. Next, head to your local hardware store and grab your wood. Because I'm painting the boards, I just used common boards, but if you're going to stain, you need to use something like a hardwood board. Also, while I was there, I went ahead and had an employee cut the boards because one less step for me. The next thing you're going to want to do is sand those boards down, get all the rough edges out. I started with a coarse sandpaper and then moved to a fine sandpaper. Next, I used a paint plus primer product and painted it white. It took 2 coats. Once the wood is ready, grab your Furniture Pipeline hardware and we're going to attach that to the wood. The instructions say that we need to install them 4 inches from the edge of the wood on either side. Grab a pencil and a measuring tape and make your marks, and then take the hardware and lay it flat on your marks. And then take a pencil or something and make a little mark where we need to pre-drill the holes. The instruction manual is going to tell you what kind of drill bit to use. So grab your drill bit and your drill and go ahead and make 2 holes where you need to put the screws. Side note, don't drill too far down. You don't want to go through the wood. Now lay your hardware on top and take your screws and put them in. Now the kit comes with the tool that you need to tighten these screws with. So go ahead and tighten them and make sure they're secure on the piece of wood. I took the end of the hardware piece that attaches to the wall and I placed it onto the hardware. Now I didn't secure it. I'm going to do this so I can get an idea of what it's going to look like on the wall and where I'm going to actually pre-drill the holes for the hardware. I've done some pre-measuring and I have a pretty good idea where I want the shelves to sit, but with a level, I'm making sure it's in the right position, and I'm taking a pencil and I'm making a small mark where I'm going to pre-drill the holes. I've already determined where the studs are, and I've determined that I'm going to have to use 3 anchors, so I'm going to go ahead and drill the holes for the anchors. Next, I'm going to take the anchors and I'm going to use a small hammer and I'm going to hammer them into the wall. Now grab at least one of the end pieces and install it on the wall. What I've done is I've installed one end piece, and then I'm going to take the entire shelf with the end piece already attached, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the wall. And the reason I do this is to make sure it's level. Last thing I'm doing is drilling into the stud and then putting the screw into the stud. Now, as you can see, I have a level on the shelf, so the entire time I'm putting the screws in, I'm making sure the shelf stays level. Once the first shelf is installed, all you do is you repeat the steps for the second shelf. Lastly, tighten the shelf hardware. And there you have it, your beautifully installed Furniture Pipeline shelves. I love the way these new shelves look in my daughter's room. I hope I've shared how easy it is to use a Furniture Pipeline kit to install these.